Hey, this is Bygone, and this is 10 Track Shuffle. So my first track is The Book of Soul by Absol, and to me that's a very important song because he adds so much like heartbreak and like emotion to this track, and I think it's one of the best tracks I've ever heard. It's actually about his girlfriend who died, and to me I'd love to be able to have such powerful storytelling in my music. I think the album in general is great, Control System, and I'd recommend it for anyone. I have Faithful by Common. I think Common's such a like great and powerful artist for the time, especially because I feel like a lot of rap is depressing or sad topics. Like, often it has to do with violence, it has to do with drugs or addiction. And to me, like Faithful by Common is like really stand out because it talks about remaining faithful to your wife and comparing it to remaining faithful to God. And that's something I really admire, is being innovative for the time. Next, I have Settle for Nothing by Rage Against the Machine. To me, Rage Against the Machine is like one of those artists where I was never able to find like another artist like them. Like they're just kind of who they are, and that's it. They're just like, I'd say that Rage Against the Machine album is like one of the best, like if not the best political album I've ever heard. And that I find that song important because it says like, take action now, we'll settle for nothing later. That's something I find important, especially now. So my next track is Practice by Freddie Gibbs and Madlib. First things first, I gotta say shout outs to Madlib. He's also from Oxnard, and hopefully one day we can do a song. To me, this song, like, I chose because a lot of the instrumentals are what I am going for my next album, Born to Die. And I just love that the instrumentals are like so powerful and beautiful, but also like have like this reflective factor to it, and that's something I really appreciate. And then next I chose Mind Playing Tricks on Me by the Ghetto Boys. I gotta say, I think the South is like the most underrated of like New York and LA. Like the South is like underrated for sure. Like not a lot of people talk about the South. To me, Scarface, a member of the Ghetto Boys, is like the second greatest rapper of all time. I chose this song because, Scarface in particular, he was able to talk about like these kind of gangster themes, but also include this kind of extra layer of mental health. He talked about a lot of like suicidal thoughts and depression. And that was something I really admired, was him being able to get out these issues while also, sticking with the themes of like the Ghetto Boys tracks. Next, I chose It Ain't Easy by Tupac. I think Tupac is the greatest rapper of all time. There was just a certain way, like in his storytelling, that was like no one has ever matched it. I think Kendrick has gotten close, but it was like you were talking to Tupac. Like he was just there speaking to you, like heart to heart, like, and no matter what emotion he was throwing at you, you like felt it, whether he was angry or trying to tell you a story or reflective or trying to teach you a lesson, like it always came across. So the next track is Eye for a Eye, Your Beef is Mine's by Mobb Deep, Nas, and Raekwon. For me, this track is like crazy and like legendary because anyone who knows me knows I'm like a New York, like 90s New York stan. They just had so many classics like Big Pun, like Biggie, Big L, A Tribe Called Quest. They had like tons. And this track just goes to show that like how much of a powerhouse they were. To me, Wu-Tang is like the greatest, most iconic rap group of all time. Like, and as a marketing major, like the W, the Wu is like so iconic. All their like initial albums were iconic. There wasn't any members that like were noticeably worse than the other ones, and everything about all the characters in Wu-Tang were iconic. So I appreciate New York a ton. Next is By Starlight by the Smashing Pumpkins. This album was important to me, and this song too, especially in high school, because it was one of those first albums where I just listened to it like over and over and over again, like, and it became my favorite album of all time. To me, it's an album about love, and this song in particular I find very like close to my heart because this song feels like it was about when he was about to divorce his wife and kind of the realization in his head. And I think it's a powerful song. And I don't even have a record player, but I got this right here. Next is Serial Killer by Snoop Dogg. To me, Doggy Style is like the LA album. I know most people like choose The Chronic, but to me, like Doggy Style is like banger after banger. Like I just love it. To me, it's just like a party with Death Row. Nate Dogg goes in, the Dog Pound goes in there with their like angry flows, and then Snoop Dogg obviously, and then Lady of Rage. Like to me, she has like some of the best female verses like on this album. And that's something I really appreciate lately is like how many female artists are like kind of taking the stage now. Lastly, I have the song What Can We Do by Anderson .Paak and Nate Dogg. First things first, also shout outs to Anderson .Paak. He's from Oxnard. And this album's Ventura. I went to high school in Ventura, actually met him. He's a really nice guy, and he's someone I really look up to. This song in particular I find very moving because it's almost like he revived Nate Dogg one last time. Nate Dogg is just such an iconic personality, and his music is like none other. Seeing him one last time was very like made me emotional and kind of reminisce on when I used to hear him back in the day. Check out my new single For You on SoundCloud and in my bio. My Instagram is Bygone over Mike, and watch out for my next album coming soon. Always working hard, and thank you guys.